Hello and welcome to Veeam 2024. I'm Rick Vanover and I will be presenting this Veeam Short Bite. This session will be about the Veeam AI Assistant. Starting in the 23H2 release of Veeam Data Platform 12.1, the AI Assistant is driven by large language models using Veeam product documentation and other resources from our website as a context for real-time assistance in the product. This is really cool. It's a great way to improve efficiency and check your work before you do things. Let's take a look at a demo right now. So the first thing I want to draw your attention to is actually a knowledge base article, KB 4539. This KB provides updates to the AI Assistant. So if we look at the AI Assistant, there's been changes even since we've released, and what's really interesting is that these changes are outside of the patches. This is interesting because the AI Assistant is server-side at veeam.com, right? So it doesn't have to change the actual product implementation. A couple of things to look at: trial license support, some things were fixed from use, and then even after the release, they had some enhancements and such. So keep that in mind, that the KB 4539 highlights it. And then the user guide. Love me the user guide. One of the things I want to highlight about the user guide, first of all, is how much Veeam AI Assistant can you use? So there is a limit up to 30 questions for 24 hours per license. So if you ask several questions, you may find that limit. And that's the limit for now. We may change that, but I just want to highlight that. It does require internet access. That's an important one. I know some environments do not have internet connectivity. If that's your environment, that means the AI Assistant is not available for you, which I understand. We've had advice a number of different ways, but if you want to shape just that traffic, it might be something to consider. And then down here in Help Center, it'll explain to you how to use it, but I'm actually going to show you instead. Now, one thing I want to do before I go show you how to use it is take you right here. If you've ever installed Veeam, actually right here, this is a relatively new option, the license provisioning method, okay? Now, if you're like me, I do a lot of this. I will just put the file in here, but I do a lot more lab Veeam backup and replication than most people, so I build up environments all the time, hence this one I'm looking at right now. Now, to use the AI Assistant, the easiest path is to go ahead and use this other option, sign in with Veeam, okay? So when you do this, what it's going to do, it's actually going to authenticate you against veeam.com. So if you want to use the AI Assistant, that's the easiest way, especially if you're like just getting started in some of your upgrades for 12.1. All right, now I want to show it to you. Over here, the Veeam AI Assistant is built into the user interface. This particular system has the installation where the license is provided. Quick look at the welcome here. I think you should always, with any AI, forget the Veeam AI, you want to always just common sense check what it's doing, right? And there's additional AI in use with the malware detection. Check out some of the other sessions at Veeam about that, but this session is specifically about the AI Assistant, right? So let's take a quick look and check our work. So let me think of a question here. How does a backup copy job work? Now, that's an easy one for me, but if you're just getting started with Veeam, that might need something of an explanation, because what it is not is a file copy operation. And here's my response. Nice long answer. So this really takes a narrative approach here with that type of question here. So let me just see what it says here. I'm reading through it. Yeah, this is a good answer. I really like this. And I want to highlight the most important part of this, which is this is what I wanted to see in the result. It works by accessing backup files in the source backup repository. Because a backup copy job builds a backup file from an existing backup. right? So it's almost like instead of copying the backups, it pretends to create a restore point, but the source is the backups that are already taken. And what I like about the AI Assistant here is that if you click on this, it'll take you to the relevant documentation of that capability. So this is kind of cool. Let me give you another one here. So I'm actually going to cheat a little bit. I've got a term right here. Let me copy it. Did you know the AI Assistant can also work in other languages? Let's see if this works. Now, any of you speak Spanish, that isn't necessarily the best translation, so apologies here, but it's important to know that the Veeam AI Assistant also can take in questions in other languages, most of the common languages, and it will give you responses in that language. So let's see what it comes back with for this. Okay, I got a long answer here, so this is great. I mean, even in other languages, this is looking pretty straightforward. It walks you through the steps as well. But let me show you one more thing that really scopes in the Veeam AI Assistant. Now, this is a cheeky example, but the reality is this AI tool is really scoped into Veeam information. So if I send the AI Assistant something really sideways like this, it probably won't want to process it, and it'll explain to me why. There it is. So that is, well, at least it gives me somewhere to go. Okay, I'll give it credit for that. Talk to one of these types of professionals, right? But it makes sense for the Veeam AI Assistant. So that's a quick look at it. And this is something that we have built into the product. But again, you have to use this engine right here to turn it on easily by default. I hope you enjoyed this Veeam short bite about the Veeam AI Assistant. And we have a lot of things planned for this technology, so I encourage you to use it. We look at how it's used. We are modeling some new ideas. We got a lot of plans for this technology. So this is good stuff. Now is the time to get to know it. Enjoy the rest of Veeam.